Welcome to The Terrible Take, a mini podcast telling Steelers Nation what's on our mind. I'm Dave Bryan. In the 2020 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers selected just 6 players, and only one of them, running back Anthony McFarland Jr., was an underclassman. The other 5 players, wide receiver Chase Claypool, outside linebacker Alex Highsmith, guard Kevin Dotson, safety Antoine Brooks Jr., and defensive tackle Carlos Davis, were not only all senior products, but all played in all-star games as well. Claypool and Brooks were Senior Bowl participants, while Highsmith, Dotson, and Davis were all East-West Shrine Game participants. Due to the lingering impact of the COVID pandemic, there wasn't an East-West Shrine Game this year, and thus only honorary invitations were sent out. There was, however, a Senior Bowl earlier this year, and those rosters once again need heavy scrutiny if you're a fan of the Steelers ahead of the 2021 NFL Draft. The impact that the pandemic has had on college football could result in the Steelers staying away from drafting many, if any, underclassmen this year. Sure, there might be one drafted early, but more than one would be a bit of a surprise. Additionally, with there not being an East-West Shrine Game earlier this year, that leaves the Senior Bowl as the prime place to likely identify most of the Steelers' 2021 draft selections. In 2019, the Steelers went heavy on underclassmen in the draft that year as the team's first 5 selections, linebacker Devin Bush, wide receiver Deontay Johnson, cornerback Justin Lane, running back Benny Snell Jr., and tight end Zach Gentry, were all early entrants. Bush and Johnson have obviously played quite a bit since being drafted, while the same can't be said about the other 3. Is there a lesson in that? Maybe. In closing, you don't need to be a rocket surgeon or a heart scientist to conclude that the 2021 Senior Bowl rosters need to be scoured with a fine-tooth comb if you're a Steelers fan. I usually remind fans to do this every offseason at around this same time. That said, the last time the Steelers drafted super heavy from the Senior Bowl was in 2018, as that year's selection haul included wide receiver James Washington, quarterback Mason Rudolph, tackle Chukwuma Okorafor, safety Marcus Allen, and running back Jalen Samuels. That was 5 of the Steelers' 7 total draft selections that year, and the most we have seen in any single year since 2014, when 4 of the team's 9 total selections were Senior Bowl participants. This year, the Steelers are set to have 8 selections in the draft, and we could see at least 5 of those selections wind up being Senior Bowl products. Heck, maybe even as many as 7 of them. So, in closing, find yourself a copy of the 2021 Senior Bowl rosters as soon as you're done listening to this. It will come in handy the next time you do a mock draft. Be sure to follow us at SteelersDepot.com and check out episodes of The Terrible Take every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And check out The Terrible Podcast with myself and Alex Kozora every Tuesday and Friday.